This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the chairman and CEO of Hannan Metals, Mr. Michael Hudson. Mike, how are you this afternoon?
I'm very, very well from morning down under, Gerardo.
I see that despite the holiday week, you and the Hannan team are busy. You just had some news where Hannan has now expanded its San Martin copper silver project portfolio to a massive 937 square kilometers. This follows the announcement of your joint venture with JOGMEC, which is a joint venture that, by the way, is one of the strongest in the junior space over the past year. 75% earn-in by spending up to 35 million US. It's a lot of progress, and congratulations. It seems like I say it every time I speak with you, but these aren't inconsequential news releases. This, in light of copper being at 355 a pound and projected to go higher in 2021, is a big deal.
Everybody wants more copper. You know, we're going to mine more copper in the next 20 years, they say, than we have for the history of the earth. And the true way of finding a lot of copper is to find new districts and new basins or new plays, and this is developing into one of those, Gerardo, and it got the attention of the Japanese government, and we just completed that joint venture just over the last few weeks. And there's teams on the ground. We're exploring actively in that San Martin JV project area with JOGMEC, and there'll be news flow into the new year from those field campaigns that have already started. But what is important is stage two, and you were just about to ask me a question here, I think.
Yeah, I think you're headed to the question that I was going to ask you. I thought it was important to point out that these new claims are 100% owned by Hannan outside of the current joint venture, and those 278 square kilometers are again massive and important moving forward. Correct?
Correct. So the San Martin area is massive. It's over 120 kilometers of strike. We've got high-grade copper in context that we've made early stage discoveries over that larger area. With JOGMEC, we've got an area of 660 square kilometers, which is huge in itself, 660 square kilometers. But these new areas we've announced, which is 278 square kilometers, is in our own right. So this is stage two for Hannan, I think, is the simple way to put it, that basically 2/3 so far of the area that we've got under tenure is with JOGMEC. 1/3 is with our own banner, our own exploration teams and our own funding, and full exposure for Mawson shareholders if we make a discovery in those areas, I suppose. And really this is starting, stage two is starting where we left off. We're going to do it again. We're basically going to go and ideally make some new discoveries in these areas, and then consider whether to explore them in our own right or explore them with a partner. But Hannan is certainly very much in a very good partnership with JOGMEC, but we're doing it again in our own right.
Within the context of COVID and the precautions that the team has taken, how is exploration in the field developing? I know that you've been very conservative, very responsible. You made it a point early in the year to not rush into deploying the team back in the field. How are things coming along in that respect there, Mike?
Surprisingly well, I suppose, in terms of the cautiousness that we did demonstrate. We kept in touch with local stakeholders, local people, local authorities. We had 2 people on the ground continuously. We were supporting the communities in our own way, that we're a small company could, but we've certainly had the presence there and wanted to make sure that they knew we're there for the long term. We went back with field teams and social teams first up at the start of November, and then geological teams a few weeks later. And we've been working with ferocity and it's business as usual in a COVID way, if that's a tautology. But we're collecting as many samples, walking as much ground, running big stream sediment surveys, making discoveries in new areas, interacting with locals. All with the PPE gear on and social distancing. But what is really I suppose very nice is that people see we're there for the right reasons, in terms of what we're telling people we're doing, and we're doing it, and then demonstrating what we've been doing just in exploration, a very low impact way. But the locals are now really starting to understand what exploration is and how it differs from mining, and it's pretty much universal that we're being welcomed into these areas, and that's the way it should be, right? First up, interactions and building credibility, and then demonstrating that by doing what you say you're going to do. And I think that plan is working out.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. Mike, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I think how you started it was how we should finish it. Completed one of the strongest joint ventures in the junior business with the Japanese government's JOGMEC, over 2/3 of our area, and now we've staked a massive new area. 1/3 of that whole 937 square kilometres that we have under tenure is in our own right, and we're going to do it again.
I'm eagerly anticipating results from the field on the exploration work that you've done over the past several months, and I have to believe that there's likely several companies that are also eagerly anticipating those results.
Well, we have fingers crossed, and we're working hard, and it's a fertile area that really has never really seen any decent exploration. So it's very, very exciting.
Mike, a lot to look forward to in 2021. Thank you so much. If we don't chat again soon, have yourself a fantastic Christmas, holiday, and New Year's, and thanks again.
To you and your listeners, thanks, Gerardo.